Hey guys, welcome back to another Coffee Date Thursday. Let me show you my cup. I'm using another travel type one today, and it's dirty, but it says, "Be still and know that I am God." And then it says Psalms 46:10, but of course it has an owl on it. I had to have it. So this was yet another gift from the team I work with for my church for being a Kidmin leader. They like to show their appreciation with fun little trinkets, and I just happen to love coffee cups and mugs and stuff, so I always end up picking stuff like this. But this is the one I'm using today. And today's topic for, let's see, what's today's date? The 16th of April. I can't believe that it's already halfway through April. This is crazy. But the topic for today was my favorite memory. Now, that would be way too broad for me, or be too specific for me. There's no way I could pick one memory that would be my favorite of all time. Now, I have one in mind, but I don't know that it tops other memories. So, Tasha suggested that we do our top three. And so that's what I'm going to do today, is tell you about my top three memories throughout my life. So let's get started. So the first memories I would have to say that I have to talk about isn't a specific one. It's more like a length of time that I had with my grandma. Now, growing up, I spent a lot of time with my grandma. We both had a lot of the same interests because she introduced me to a lot of the world, different kinds of movies and music and books. We were avid readers, and she really was the one who brought me into the reading world. We loved to go to the library together, be outside. Really, as long as I was with my grandma, it didn't matter what we were doing, but we loved to laugh. I got my love of games from her. We loved to play games, but laughing was one of my favorite things to do with her. So I would say throughout my life, favorite memories, some of the best memories I have are with my grandma. Not necessarily at any age, it was at all ages. So I definitely think that when I look back at my life, that's some of the things that I like to reflect on, and really I like to enjoy thinking of the things we all did together. The second, time frame of my life that I feel like is one of my favorite memories was my first year in college. I lived on campus with two of my best friends, and I feel like that year kind of made me who I am today. There were so many things that happened that year that I learned about myself, that I learned about people, that I learned about the world, and it was just a really good year. There were some ups and downs, like there is for every year, but it really, when I look back, and if I could relive any year in my life, that's one of the top three, and I would love to relive that year just to experience some of the stuff that I went through. I met so many people who became lifelong friends. I, broke ties with people who ended up not being the greatest of people to have in my life. And I also learned who in my family was really there for me. And it was one of the greatest years I've ever had. And so if I could relive that, that year was, I would say August of '03 until I guess I would say August of '04, that whole year, because at the end of that year I also moved to Alabama. So the transition from living in Michigan to Alabama was a big deal too. So that whole year was just a great year for me. So many memories, I wouldn't even be able to begin to list them all. The top memory that I feel like is really a contender for my favorite memory of all time, but I can't say for sure that it is it was, I believe, May 3rd of 2002. It was the day of my junior prom. If you guys have heard me mention this, I love softball. I was a huge softball girl in high school, and at the time of this prom, I had just kind of broken up with my first love, and I was single, and I didn't want to go to prom. I didn't want to be there because I knew, one, he would be there with a date, but two, I had a softball tournament that whole day, and I was like, you know what, no, I don't want to go to the prom, I just want to spend the whole day playing softball. Well, it got closer and closer, and my friends were begging me, come on, some of my friends were seniors, and they wanted to make sure that I was there to celebrate with them. And so finally, I decided to, the week before prom, I decided to go. So I had to get a dress, I had to make a hair appointment, all that kind of stuff. Plus, on top of it, I had my softball tournament. Well, the Monday before that, I was at practice, and I got hit in the head with a softball, and so I had this huge goose egg on my head. But the goose egg started to go away, but then the blood was raining down and it made me have black eyes. So the day before softball tournament and prom, I woke up and my eyes were just, you look like, I look like I'd been in a fight. Also, the day before, I woke up with this horrible sinus infection. So I'm thinking there's no way I can do this prom thing. So Saturday morning comes and I wake up and I'm feeling awful, but I'm ready to play softball. So I get dressed, it's a beautiful day out, and I go to my tournament. And it was just, the whole day of tournament was awesome. We played so well. I pitched really good. I feel like I was really on my game that day. I really enjoyed it looking back. I only have one picture from the softball part of that day, and I can't find it, and it's so sad because I loved that. But it was just so much fun. Well, then I get home from the tournament, and it's time to go get ready for prom. And I had down to the middle of my back hair that's thicker than horsehair, so I knew it was going to take at least 2 to 3 hours to get my hair done. So I had to go home, I had to shower and wash everything but my hair, and then I had to rush to the hair salon, and then I had to rush home to finish getting ready. And then it was an hour, a little over an hour away. It was an hour away from where we lived to get to where prom was. I knew I was going to miss dinner. There was no way around that because I just couldn't make it there in time. So I got ready. Mind you, I feel like crap. I had no voice. And thankfully, my mom had a way with makeup that covered up my black eyes. But I felt physically like crap. Like I was like, this is crazy. Why am I doing this? So I get into the vehicle with my mom and dad, who, by the way, my mom and dad were separated at this time, which plays a part into why it was such a good day. It was because my life in that moment, on that day, was perfect. Like, there wasn't anything, in my opinion, that was bad. My parents were both at good places with their lives. I was at a good place. And, I got to play softball all day. And then I got to go dance with my friends. So my parents drove me to prom, stopping on the way to get me orange juice, cough drops, and Kleenex because I could not survive without them. And they dropped me off and they took pictures and stuff and nice. And then I walked up the stairs to this place because it was on an upper level of this nicer building that was in the city it was in. And I walk in through the doors and everybody's seated and they're eating dinner. And I ask where I'm supposed to go, and they show me, I'm trying to find my friends, and my friends were all separated somehow. So I go sit down, but one of the funniest things I remember about that night was that the table I sat at, we only sat for dinner for like 10 minutes before they cleared it for dancing, was right next to my ex's table. And I remember I didn't look at him, but all my friends told me that as I walked in, he couldn't do nothing but stare. And I always got a kick out of that because I was like, yeah, you dumbass, you broke my heart, and so it serves you right. And so then after that we danced, and I just had the best night. Like I made new friends, which is funny because I went to school with these people, but I like got closer to new people. I was with all my best friends, and then that night my dad came and picked me up, and I went home and slept for like 12 hours. But it was one of the best days of my life. Like when I think back to that day, I can't think of a single bad thing other than the fact that I was sick and I had black eyes, which by the end of the night you could see because my makeup was smutting off. But and I couldn't speak very well because my voice was gone. But I mean, all I remember is the good. Like I don't really even recall any that bad. And it was just such a good night for me. And I'll never forget it. So I know that some of you might be wondering why all my memories are like pre-marriage, pre-kids. And the thing for me is I can't even generalize a year of when I've been married and had kids that I could say is my favorite because they've all been about the same, and that's good. Like there's been, low points, but they've all been great. So like it'd be hard for me to say, yeah, the last 10 years are my favorite. I can't say that. So I feel like any memories with my husband or my kids are just a given, but I'm thinking of memories outside of that from before I was married, before I was had kids. And so those are kind of what they were for me. I know I was kind of general with those 2 years, but I just cannot pinpoint any other memory except for that one for prom. that was as specific as that. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thumbs up if you like these Coffee Date Thursdays, if you like to know how we're doing. Again, Tasha's channel will be listed below, as will the group for Facebook if you guys are interested in joining us. And until next week, when we have another Coffee Date Thursday, guys, I will see you later. Bye.